Hello again, it's Bella here to talk to you about Redpath's super popular dairy shelters range. Redpath have been manufacturing dairy shelters for more than 20 years and were one of the first companies in New Zealand to offer New Zealand farmers an off-farm pasture protection shelter system. The clear Dura-Tough roof of our shelters makes the key difference between normal tin shed or shaded roof designs. The unique long-life clear roof works in close cooperation with the soft litter flooring, allowing it to remain drier and healthier, with the floor and the stock being exposed to natural ultraviolet light to mimic outside conditions but without the rain or the cold or the related wind chill. The most commonly chosen flooring material for our dairy shelters is a 500 or 600 millimeter deep wood chip material. The wood chip can be operated as a simple deep litter system or as a compost barn. Both of these systems will have different cow density levels, with the minimum being approximately 8.5 square meters per animal and the maximum being 12 square meters per animal. The cows per square meter density is also governed by the amount of time that the cows are to be held off the pasture. For instance, in the south of New Zealand, where the cows might be held off the pasture for up to 3 months, the space per cow will be greater than in, say, Taranaki, where the shelter is used for a combination of daily feeding and also for pasture management in poor weather, when the cows might be held in off the grass for 3 to 5 days at a time. So what other benefits can you expect from your clear-roofed Redpath dairy shelter? Well, firstly, you will consistently see an improved cow condition score when you have a Redpath shelter on your farm. The animals will use less energy compared to grazing outside, as they will be less exposed to variable weather conditions and wind chill, and this becomes particularly important when a cold or severe weather event hits the farm. From improved cow condition, you can expect improved milk production and healthier, more disease-resistant cows. Remembering that the clear roof still lets the sun in onto their backs and keeps the floor healthier and drier for improved loafing times. Another benefit is that you can often increase the herd size on the farm when you utilize a shelter, due to the fact that with the cows off the land in the most heavy weather conditions, you can expect improved grass production and reduced pugging or muddy pasture. Your time and expense repairing and regrassing damaged pasture also gives a worthwhile cost saving. With the ever-increasing cost of feed and supplements, you can of course reduce your feed waste and improve efficiency of feed uptake when using the shelter for feeding out. The loss of feed from trampling, pests, and heavy weather is eliminated when placing the vast majority of your feed within the shelter under a dry, warm, and wind-free area of the Redpath shelter. The shelter is also a great place to calve cows and for use as a temporary shelter for calves or sick cows. One of the benefits that many farmers tell us at Redpath is that the shelter frees up their time and provides them with improved peace of mind. The reduction in stress and the easier management of both the farm and the herd is something that farmers regularly tell us is a big advantage of having a shelter on their farm. New generation farmers that are taking on existing farms or looking to add value and output to a farm will often have a Redpath shelter on their wish list. Farms that have exposure to high rainfall or sodden pastures, or that operate outdoor concrete or soft floor feed areas, or who might have sacrificial paddocks for standoff areas with potential high concentrations of effluent runoff, may also really benefit from a clear roof Redpath shelter. The Redpath shelter is primarily used to complement a grass-fed dairy farm system. The shelter is often used daily throughout the full year. Its greatest value is often during winter or when seasonal wet weather prevails, but it can also provide summertime shade for the stock. Shade and temperature control can be offered in 2 ways with a Redpath barn. The first is to have a simple internal shade cloth screen fitted overhead as shown here. This can be for the full width of the deep litter area, or can be for just half the floor area, which allows the cows to choose where they wish to stand or rest. The most popular grade of shade cloth is the 50% grade cloth, although Redpath does offer a lighter white-colored shade cloth for shelters that have less intensive sunshine. The second option is to roof ventilate the dairy shelter as shown here, and Redpath has a great deal of experience with this option. The roof vent is located at the peak of the building along its ridge to take advantage of evacuating the warmest air that collects at the ridge from the internal environment. With the hot air rising and escaping through the vent, We then have cooler air drawn into the shelter from the side and end walls, and this provides a cool airflow across the animals and gives natural evaporative cooling whilst at the same time drying the floor material. The roof vent will often be automatically opened and closed by an electric motor gearbox. The Redpath controller will monitor the interior temperature and open or close the roof vent automatically to the optimal temperature setting that the farmer has set. The controller will also automatically close the roof vent if there is rainfall or if the wind speed becomes too strong. After the roof vent is closed, it will then monitor conditions and reopen the roof vent when it is safe. Automatic roof ventilation gives high-quality control of both temperature and humidity levels and will constantly monitor the environment when the farmer is not on site. The environment controller can be connected to your local Wi-Fi, and this can be viewed on your cell phone remotely. Redpath shelters may also be constructed over existing concrete feed pads or new fully concrete floor feed pads. Another option is to include a combination of a deep litter wood chip floor with a scraper lane path for where the cows stand and feed. This combination scraper lane wood chip barn is popular for when wintering cows for long periods. The floor material is usually a mixture of wood chip, sawdust, and peelings. It's important to use dry wood chip, and you should also consider an increase in the percentage of dry matter within your feed when using a soft floor wood chip-based system. Other flooring materials that can be used are sand, pumice, or straw, and these might be chosen because they are available on the farm or close to the farm. Most soft floor systems below a clear-roofed shelter have a lifespan of approximately 3 years. The soft floor material will usually be ripped by harrows, stirred and rolled often on a weekly basis to keep it aerated, healthy, and free-draining. Some farmers will operate their floor as a true compost barn, and they might add a mixture of materials to keep the floor actively composting and breaking down. A well-run soft floor system will be dry and smell-free, and the cows will stand up without flooring dags or material stuck to themselves. Let's talk about how much Redpath dairy barns cost. Usually, Redpath will quote our barns fully constructed on your site, and we include the building permit work, site plan work, and engineering within our quoted cost. The size of the structure will affect the square meter cost of the barn, and also your location and wind zone may have an effect also. Things like roof ventilation systems, shade systems, feed lanes, and side eave options will also adjust the cost per square meter or per cow. A typical 500 cow shelter might cost $1,200 a cow for the building, whilst a 300 cow shelter might add 10% to this cost. This is the cost for the dairy shelter building, and a budget needs to be allowed for the 3 other main cost items. These are site works, and wood chip and any concrete work, plus drainage. For a handy reference, our farmers tell us that the cost of our building is often 60% of the total installation budget. This could vary if the site is very steep and requires a lot of earth to be moved, or if there is a substantial amount of concrete being considered over and above the norm. Please note that any prices discussed here today are as of the date of this video production and do not include GST. There are unique structural features within Redpath designs that make them highly suited for farm dairy shelter use. Firstly, the frame is all high tensile rectangular hollow section steel for the poles and all of the main truss framework. This gives us incredible strength against wind and allows easy attachment of things like feed rails, ventilation systems, and doors or eaves if required. All of the poles that go into the ground and their concrete footing are not only hot-dipped galvanized, but they also include a 4mm thick sleeve at their base. And this is to ensure that the footing is 100% protected from the floor and any effluent. Redpath does not use timber poles due to these styles of buildings having a high degree of uplift load from the wind, which often makes timber poles unsuitable. All of Redpath's main frame is connected with simple and strong 12mm bolts and nylock nuts for superior strength and reliability. The Dura Tough Clear cladding used on the roof and the gables of the building is the thickest and longest life clear roofing available in Australasia. The 225-micron film ensures great light transmission through to the floor, whilst at the same time giving superior service life. Replacement of the cladding is a straightforward affair because the Redpath Dura-Lock aluminum cover fastening system is used exclusively on our buildings. Dura-Lock firmly holds the roofing membrane even in New Zealand's more breezy locations. The gutters on Redpath buildings are designed to be maintenance-free and are a walk-through design which gives owners easy access to the roof for basic maintenance if and when required. Redpath clear-roofed dairy shelters really are built stronger, to last longer. Redpath dairy shelters are designed, manufactured, and installed by Redpath in New Zealand, and we have 16 building crews based around the North and South Island to efficiently construct your dairy shelter and also offer ongoing maintenance for the future. Call us or email us for a free quote or a free catalog at the number or email shown here. Or feel free to visit us at our factory located at 16 Bounty Place, Kelvin Grove, Palmerston North. Thank you for watching this video. We hope that we can be of service for your next farm shelter system. Please follow our YouTube channel and like our Facebook or Instagram pages to receive the latest information updates on Redpath's range of dairy and animal shelters. Bye for now and talk soon.